say when you got on this call, you didn't actually get on a Google Meet or a Zoom, and suddenly you found yourself teleported back to the year 500 BC. You don't know how you got there.
Where am I?
But somehow you realize that you've also become dictator of the world. So
oh man!
You realize that you are on one of 3 identical Earths in the year 500 BC, and you also realize that in 2020, in 2,520 years from now, there is going to be a great war between these 3 Earths, and only one Earth is going to survive. The question is, what do you do as dictator of the world in 500 BC to best increase your Earth's chance of survival? There's 3 quick constraints. 1, you die. You only have the rest of your life to set your plans in motion. So you have to hope that whatever you start during your lifetime happens during the rest of the 2,520 years. Second, you can start anywhere you want and assume you speak the local language, but it is 500 BC and you're limited accordingly.
Is this your video game?
Maybe it could be. But third, the war is inevitable. There's no way you can prevent it. You can picture 3 Earths going into a black box and only one survives.
Well, I mean, I must be pretty advanced if I'm in the year 500 and know all these things. So I probably must know some advanced technology, or how the heck would I know about the future of this and all these like 3 Earths thing?
Sorry. You know everything you know today, but you can't prepare. You can't
teleport back in time.
Sorry?
So I was like basically transported back in time.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I think you'd want to set in motion the Enlightenment as much as possible, and propagate the scientific method, and try to basically teach people physics and what reality is actually about, but physics and information theory, because we better build up technology fast, or the alien invasion fleet is going to take us out. So I guess try to set the Enlightenment in motion, which probably would result in not being dictator for very long, because they generally don't like dictators in that situation. But I think we'd obviously want to just try to advance technology at the fastest pace possible. Yeah, and
yeah, that's
obviously, I mean, that seems like the logical thing to do. What would you do?
I would do 3 things, maybe 4 things. First, I would build roads. I think infrastructure is very important and underinvested in. Second, I'd bring everything I know today. I don't know a lot of physics, but I bet I could at least bring back the fundamentals of electricity and push material science further ahead pretty far. Third, I would try to get, I think one thing that's worked consistently very well throughout history to get really great innovations happening is getting really smart people together and giving them pretty close to unlimited resources. I think you see this in Athens. I think you see this with the Medici family. I think you see this with Bell Labs. I think you see this with Xerox PARC. I would do that. And finally, I would start in Athens and I'd prevent the Peloponnesian War because I think that set humanity back really far back.
Yeah, but I really wasted a lot of lives on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, like a lot of these civilizations seem to have done a tremendous amount of infighting and have been their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Like Rome was for sure its own worst enemy so many times. And Macedonia after Alexander was like, man, they just basically just killed each other. It was insane. So I think the lesson there is like, hey, let's minimize the infighting and work together towards a common goal of like being a space-faring civilization and greater enlightenment and ensuring that the environment is good. And just like I think probably we maybe have a little bit more fun. Like I think sometimes people forget like, hey, we should have some fun and be lighthearted and not get too serious. Because you gotta have some fun along the way. Yeah.